Hello and welcome back to Mark's House and Garden UK. Today is a very special day because this card has just arrived in the post. And I'm going to add it to this table full of cards. There are 20 cards here, one for each 1,000 subscribers. And there's a very heartwarming story behind this table full of cards, which I'll tell you in a moment. But first of all, I just want to say thank you to 20,000 people who've taken the time to hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. It's gone beyond my wildest dreams, really. I started this channel in lockdown nearly 4 years ago now, and it's grown organically up to 20,000. And I just love it. I love creating, I love sharing the stories of my house and garden. I love the engagement and the comments and the feedback. And it's just been a wonderful journey. And now we're at 20,000. I've got to say thank you so much. Let me tell you the story behind this table full of cards. I've got a friend called Charlie. And when I started my channel, I was full of doubts and apprehension and anxiety about what people would think about me doing a YouTube channel. And my mate Charlie said, what does it matter what people think? If you want to do it, do it. Don't listen to the critics. Don't listen to those that undermine you and make sarcastic comments. Just go and do it. And if it wasn't for Charlie and my mum, it has to be said, I'd have quit before I got the first one of these cards. Now I've got 20 of them. And every time I go through 1,000 cards, 1,000 subscribers, my mate Charlie sends me a card. So thank you to you, 20,000. Thanks to Charlie, my mate. Thanks to my mum as well, who always supports everything I do without fail. I'm now going to tell you what we've got to look forward to in 2025. We have been going through a difficult time in the household here because we've several elderly parents who have not been very well, but we're getting there now. So I'm looking forwards a bit more now to 2025. So it's onwards and upwards. I'm going to go out in the garden and show you what we've got planned for the next 12 months. But before I go outside, let me just reiterate, thank you so much for your support. It's so much appreciated. Thank you. So I'm going to take you outside now. I'm going to go handheld, so the camera might be a bit shaky, but I want to give you a narration of what we see outside. And as usual with these roundups, I'm going to start off at the front of the cottage and work my way all around the garden. And obviously, this time we'll also include some news on the garage conversion project, which is ongoing. So let's climb over the fence and get started. So this is the formal parterre at the front of the cottage. It's the first project I tackled when I moved in here just over 3 years ago. Little boxwood parterre. They do say avoid boxwood or buxus because of box blight, but I'm prepared to take the risk because I just love it. There's a table here because I've just been sent some solar pond pump lights, so I'm going to do a box opening and a product review on those. I've got some little plants under the porch there for safety from the weather, which is actually beautiful today, but we do have some very strong cold prevailing winds here. Little tub there, which is going to be a water feature lined with this piece of pond liner and filled with bricks and pebbles. This here is my little experiment. It's actually a bird feeder with a camera in it. You can see videos on all these things on my channel, but I noticed a squirrel on there a few weeks ago, so I've put these squirrel proof bird feeders up here. And there's a camera in there, and every time something comes here it sends me footage. I'll drop some in. So here we are in my gravel bed, my arid bed, something I did last year. Weed fabric, gravel and all those kind of spiky plants that love hot, dry conditions. You can see them all here. I've had to put some protection in place for my agaves. Apparently they don't mind the cold, but they don't like to be wet, but I'm not sure that they are going to survive this winter. So there we go. Again, there's the cottage. And then down the side of the cottage is my gravel border with standard olives in. They've done really well, you know. I'm surprised how well they've survived this winter. We've had lots of snow and very, very cold temperatures. Incidentally, I do have 3 big olive trees over here. If you've been following me, you'll know that I bought these from Costco last year, and I got 3 for the price of 1, really, because they were a third of the prices they are as what you can buy them for in normal garden centres. So I decided to take the plunge. And this is going to be an olive grove with citrus plants and a water feature, all covered in gravel, and a central path. Eventually I'm going to be parking my cars down there in that corner. Right, back to the cottage. The thatch is looking a little bit rough. That's got to be replaced in 18 months. Look at all the lichens on there. Can you see the lichen on there? Incredible. Now we've just had a big storm. Evidence of the storm, the fact that my television aerial has blown off, but never mind. That's a problem for another day. Happily, you can watch most things online nowadays, can't you? But again, look how well these olive trees are doing. They've had no protection whatsoever. This was my Mediterranean scented border, but I had to dig a trench here for the electrics. I'm converting that garage into accommodation. There's the cable. That cable now goes 2 foot under the ground underneath here. And unfortunately, in digging the trench, I spoiled this garden. So I've got some plans for this year for this new project in the near future. Right, let's go round the back. This is my bamboo hedge. Now somebody did comment on how well that's done. It's done incredibly well. Obviously, bamboo can be quite invasive, so don't forget, if you're planning on planting bamboo, to put a bamboo barrier in place, because if it's the type of bamboo that runs, it can get everywhere. So there we go. The bamboo hedge. Now, something I've got to do here, look how that bamboo is closing in and encroaching. I'm going to make an Asian archway, sort of a pergola style, Asian style archway to go over there. I'll just wait for my camera to refocus. So that will broaden the gap and define the gateway through. Right, let's go through here. This is my Jurassic jungle garden. All of these are bananas, and that's a tetrapanics, and all the plants are being cut down for the winter. There's the window that's actually a mirror, and these are banana trees, Musa Basju. There's an old Christmas wreath here. I've kept this for a reason, because it's got these cones on it, and I intend using them as bird feeders. I'm going to pack them with fat and seed. Tree ferns. Now, I did protect the tree ferns, but you can't really protect the fronds, and many of the fronds have gone brown. I'll probably cut them off in the very near future. There's the end of my television wire, which comes down off the roof. This is my little fernery. It's all looking a bit sad and damp. In that door there, by the way, is that table with the cards on. Can you see there? So just waiting for a bit of warm weather for this to spring back into life. And the same will happen here. Within 6 months, that will be 7 foot tall again. Little pan face there looking out. Right, let's wander over to the garage, and I'll tell you what's been taking up a lot of my time and energy lately. And it's this here. My septic tank was filling up. I realised that the old soakaway, which is actually under the garage there, has failed. So I've had to replace it. So I've had to dig a trench, put an inspection chamber in. The trench goes all the way along those line of plants there, underground. Put a new soil pipe in, which comes down to this drainage field. In case you're wondering if there are any regulations about this, yes there are. They are in the general binding rules, and I'm allowed to do this. As long as we get it right, I'm allowed to do it, because my septic tank discharge started before, I think, 1985. So that's one of the things I've been doing. It's been a lot of hard work. 3 foot under the ground there is a run of pipes which have got holes in the bottom. So all the water that comes off the septic tank runs all the way around there and then soaks into the ground. I had to do a percolation test and measure it and get the number of the meterage of pipes right. But there's an inspection chamber, so you can see if I lift that out, the wastewater which runs off the septic tank. Not the waste, just the water that comes off the top, runs down a pipe, underground and into this. Right, while we're down here, let's have a look at the wildlife pond. Okay, so we shall go round this pile of earth, which has got to be tidied up. Again, look at the tree ferns here. Look at the state of them. But don't worry, because they will come back. I will cut these fronds off, and inside of there, protected by oak leaves, there will be new fronds starting to grow and emerge. So they'll all come back, don't worry about that. Do you remember this time last year, I came up with the idea of putting a moat, a series of ponds around my wildlife pond. And then my neighbour very, very kindly came round with his mini digger and dug the holes for me. I've put these bricks in to help hedgehogs get out if they fall in. You can see little hedgehog steps here. I've not finished that project yet, but that is definitely going to get finished in 2025. Where there's not going to be any fish in my wildlife pond, because that's for frogs, toads and newts, I am going to put fish in these moats when they get filled up. Now, they've not been done and completed yet for various reasons, one of which is the fact that I am converting the garage. But another reason is, when we got to that end of this one, I realised that there is a Victorian rubbish dump underneath the ground here. And it's got all kinds of bottles and pots in it. It's here in this corner. So I'm not going to do any more in terms of turning these into ponds until I've excavated that. This is the mound of earth that was created from that hole, and these have all got plants in now, so these are all going to grow up to form a kind of a hedge, a screen, which will make this corner feel like a cornered off jungle. And there's going to be over in that corner there a platform. This side of the platform will be a bench, and then you'll go up some steps and there'll be a platform on the top of there. You can then look out over the fields, and you can also look back through that gap to the cottage. And I'm going to put a yew hedge in a direct line, 2 yew hedges to sort of define the path going back to the cottage, so it will draw your eye all the way down here to this corner. Right, that's my wildflower meadow. That, believe it or not, will be full of last year's seeds, and again that will spring into life very, very soon. We'll have a wildflower meadow starting to emerge. Some old carpet there to line the bottom of these ponds. Right, let's go through the compound. That's a bamboo I rescued, which is doing really well. There's my holly cuttings, which are doing well. Raised beds, still actually producing some chard, despite the fact that we've had bad weather. And in here I've also got some beetroots, which have done surprisingly well. Little baby beets, can you see there? More on that side. In fact, there's a slightly bigger one there, which I'll show you. Baby beets, look. Survived the winter. I'm going to cook something with them. I might do some of that borscht. Do they call it borscht? That's my asparagus bed. And the asparagus will start to emerge in the very near future from each one of these crowns here. So we'll have a crop of asparagus. Right, let's go inside there and I'll show you what I've done inside there. So this is going to be, just a recap, accommodation, because I've only got 1 bedroom in the house. So the downstairs is going to be a bedroom and a gym and a music room, and then upstairs is going to be an office. And the whole of the outside of this is going to be timber clad in larch or cedar, and these are going to be bifold doors, so all that will be glass effectively, and it will be all timber clad to cover up these blocks. This door is going to be blocked up because I've got to put a new staircase in. But for now, I'll just go in here and show you what I've done so far very quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time. Staircase has to be replaced, it's not compliant to building regs. I've insulated all of the loft, as you can see there. There's 150 mil of insulation in there. I'm going to do a video on how to insulate a loft roof. The walls have to be insulated as well, that will be plasterboarded. So, let's just have a look at these plants. Look, these have been benefiting from being up here because it's actually quite warm up here and they get some light. Because of this extra insulation now, it stays above freezing up here. Unfortunately, when it becomes my office, they won't be staying in here. Work in progress. Let's quickly have a look downstairs and I'll give you a very brief explanation of what's going on down here, and then we will have finished for the day. I have got some exciting news about the direction of travel of the channel, which I will share with you. Right, here's the garage. Again, all these walls will be insulated with 100mm of insulation. There's the insulation. I've already bought it. Incidentally, there's a company called Materials Market that have given us a discount code for things like this. I'll drop it in the description box below. So insulation, insulation, insulation. A stud wall across the back, bathroom in the corner, hallway, kitchenette, new staircase, and then of course behind here bifold doors. Right, let's go back outside. That's enough of a very brief summary. And by the way, 100mm of insulation on the concrete slab as well. So there we go. You may think I've been quiet recently. I have been quiet recently. It's not because I've not been busy. I've got loads of footage on everything I've done. I will be making videos on it. It'll soon be gardening season. Right, the special news. Every week now I get offered discount codes and products. I want to put them all in one place. So I'm going to start a newsletter. I'm actually doing this with a friend of mine called Jerry. She's got a lot of experience of running limited companies. So we've set up a limited company and we're going to actively and proactively get discount codes for you around the house and garden. So gardening and household products, I'll be getting discount codes and I'll be putting them all in a subscriber only newsletter. So you'll benefit from the discount codes. There'll also be news and hints and tips and some funnies in the newsletter. And that's coming soon. It's not quite ready yet. Still waiting for the bank account to be set up. Hope you found that interesting, but I'm going to finish once again by saying thank you so much for being there, subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you soon for some more house and garden adventures. Bye for now.